All right, so let's do another one here. So I'm just gonna grab basically this, and we will Control D, and let's go back to design. And I'm just gonna remove a lot of these other components. Main things actually, just this one. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to make a like a carousel. Okay, so let's go back here. So we'll do a carousel. So what I'm gonna do is basically make a picture, which this isn't actually very smart to do because we're doing a mobile app. So usually you would just scroll up and down. That'd actually be a better way of doing it. But if we were doing something that was landscape view, we'd probably want to do it that way. So we'll do something like that. Then I'm just going to go ahead and put some text underneath, and we'll just put like title. And let's go to our assets, and we'll do that as a subtitle. And then we'll put another box here, and we'll just put, let's fill that with lorem ipsum. So go to the plugin. I think it wants a text or a shape for some reason instead. Actually, let's get rid of that. I should just work with, let's see, try this again. All right, fill with placeholder text, insert text. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and use our body text for that. And let's just pull this up a little bit like that, and pull this guy up. And we don't want a ton of text. We'll say something like that. Make sure that this is lined up. Everything should be lined up. And we'll put this lined up there. And this is probably not enough margin in the grand scheme of things. There we go. There, that, and you should be lined up to that. Okay, good. So everything's lined up. That's fine. We're going to do like we did before. I'm going to grab this whole thing, Control G to make a group. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to make it a repeat grid. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it across like so. Okay. I'm just going to do 3 for right now. And then I need to put pictures in there. So I guess I will need to find something to put in there. I don't really want to use another plugin. I guess I could probably just use that face plugin thing again, which isn't really the best way to go about doing this, but just for the purposes of, there we go. And we'll do unsplash this time. Select photos, and then randomly pick 3. Okay, so it's going to put 3 photos. They're all in there. That's fine. Okay, so much like what I did before, what I want to do is actually make it so that these I'm gonna do that scroll thing, but this time I'm gonna do the scrolling this way, so it only shows just the one. And you can see I can actually be able to move these in. See, I can move them inside. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're basically going to make this, and we're going to make it a component that we can then click on and have it go to each side. So I'm going to hit the little plus for component. This will be the default. I'm going to add a component. We're doing a new state. Okay. Let's call it state 2. That's fine. And in state 2, I'm just going to move this. I'm going to hold shift so it stays straight, so that now this guy is in there. Okay. Looks good. I'm back up. Grab this again. I'm going to add another state. New state. Double click till I get in here a couple times. Hold shift again as I move this. And then we'll put her in there. Okay. Then we'll click off. Okay. So now if you look, we have this, this, and this. Pretty cool. All right. So now what I want to do is I just want to basically add a function to this that when you click on it, it's going to just go to each one of these states. All right. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to go to prototype. I'm going to click on this guy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say on tap. We'll do auto animate, which means it'll slide. And then instead of artboard, we're going to go to state 2. I'm going to go to state 2. And click on this again. Click on that. Auto animate. This time it's going to go to state 3. Okay. Then we'll go to state 3. Click on this. Tap's fine. Again, auto animate. And this time we want to go back to default state. So basically it'll just go from one to the next to the next. All right. And that should work. Let's see. God bless it. Back here. Control Enter. So now if we click, you can see it goes to each one. Now, it's kind of fast, so you don't see it. But see how it's going off the screen? Like you can see it's actually in here. If I didn't want that, I would just mask this. So what I would do is grab this, the shape here. It's probably easier to do through a layer or this component. And what I'm going to do is make sure I'm designing here. I'm going to draw a square that's just the size of that. So let's make sure, there we go, like that. And then let's hit V for the select tool, hold Control, select the component next, and then we'll just right click and mask with shape. And now when we go to do it, God bless it, stop doing that. Like this, you'll see that, see how it doesn't go into the borders now because we basically masked that out. So now we have this thing where we click on it and it goes to each thing. And we also need to change the name here. This should have been, what was this one? I didn't rename it. We'll do it services. That's fine. Services. Okay. And let's go to prototype as well and just make sure that services does indeed go there. Okay. That looks cool. And then that should always go back, so that's not that big of a deal. And this one's always connected to that overlay menu. So we should be good now. Let's double check. Okay. Let's do this just to make things a little bit easier. I'm going to select on this. I'm going to hit this to turn that into home. And this will be a flow. So it's possible, if you remember before, you can have multiple flows. And we'll just call this like app. Okay, so that's our flow. So hopefully it'll be more likely. So we'll click on this. About Us goes here. Click on this again. We'll go services. Goes here. And we can click through. We still didn't change that to services. So services. Good. All right. And you can see, good. Now we have that little section there. That looks okay. And I think I'm going to call that good for now. Hopefully you get an idea that you can add like animation and other aspects to these just by, you know, clicking on buttons and such, or you know, by doing these various things. Play around. There's all sorts of. Sorry, the pause button's literally next to it, but for some reason when I click on the plugin, it's like I'm not even clicking on it. It keeps going there, so I keep pausing when I don't mean to. But try out the different plugins. There's a whole bunch of different ones that are really interesting, and they could do, you know, some of them do some pretty cool things. So try those out. But the main thing is try to get your branding thing done first, and then you can kind of use that as a guide to make the rest of it. I would make your own logo. Don't just use something like I did here, where you did it from the thing. The other elements are fine to get your like search and your menu and all that other thing. I don't have a problem with that, but you would want to you know make your own stuff just so that it works with what you make, what you have. And it's better if you can somehow make it a vector instead of a raster. All right. Yeah, we're gonna call that good.